Greetings to the glorious and wonderful land of YouTube. I am Kane 9000, aka Shunrin, aka the freaking Iron Man. And I am here to bring you a brand new series that I have thought up, something that I think would be kind of cool, something I'd like to do. It is going to be based on an idea that I had recently, and it is going to be started by me posing a question to all of you lovely, strange, wonderful YouTuber land peoples. How often have you been playing through Minecraft and wanted to do something a little different, maybe some things that other people have thought of before, probably, but you wanted a nice spin on it, you didn't know how to do all of it, so you went searching for a video, figure out, how to do it exactly. You go looking around, you find a few tutorials, you find a few references to it in people's My Plays, or Let's Plays, and you're looking around and you either find a short tutorial that are a dime a dozen, or you find a big, long Let's Play series that's hours long, you have to wade through hours and hours of video. You never find anything in between. So I am here to bring you, from the ground up, Minecraft, to show you builds that I've come up with, or that I've seen done, or my take on them, or things that I've come up with completely fresh, various things that I think are really neat. For build spotlights is what I'm going to call them. Kind of like mod spotlights, but I'm going to show you the build completely, from scratch to finish, 100% of the thing. Not just whatever the build itself is, but everything surrounding it. Everything that is going to be, sort of involved in the process of making that build. I am a big fan of automation. I like self-sustaining systems. And I want to do everything from start to finish, and I'm going to show you everything. So this build today that we're going to work on is going to be, I'm going to start off simple, and we're going to go with a power system. And one of the best things that I like to do is going to be a fueled steam boiler. I'm going to go with solid fuel right off for the first one. We'll do a liquid fuel one later just to see the differences and contrasts. And because it's like a full automated system, I would like to get that going. I'm going to be in creative mode this whole time, because I'm not actually playing the game. This is just going to be the build spotlight. If you want to actually see somebody doing it playing the game, well, let's go watch a Let's Play, and the amount of hours that you will have to watch to sift through that stuff will be over 9,000. Yeah, that happened. Anyway, so what we're going to do is I'm just going to load everything in creative mode style. This isn't necessarily cheating because I'm not actually playing the game. This is just showcasing the builds. So let's get started, and I will show everything. I'll briefly touch on how to craft things. If I miss some, apologies, because this is more about the build, but I will definitely try to stop and show everything possible for the crafting purposes itself. So, I'm currently running on Minecraft 1.4.7. I've got a whole host of mods that I've got set up my own pleasure, and I'll update to 1.5 eventually. A couple of my favorite mods haven't released their 1.5 versions as yet. That's why I'm still on 1.4.7. But a lot of the stuff that I'm going to do is going to be able to translate over. Once I do hit 1.5.1, we will start getting into some of the better things. So, without further ado, the solid fuel firebox I'm going to do today is going to be a charcoal fueled one, and it's going to be a fully self-sustaining system. And we're going to be using the boilers, obviously, and then the other mod that's going to be involved for this is going to be Steve's Cart, because I absolutely love the Steve's Cart Tree Farmer. So what we're going to do is you would have to start out by making a cart assembler. So we'll get one of those. Let's just plop it down over here. And let's go find our Steve's Cart stuff. Where is Steve's Cart? Too far. There we go. And the easiest one to start out with right off is going to be your standard haul. You're going to need a woodcutting core. Fertilizer is an optional thing, but not necessary for this build, so I'm going to skip it. But that would make it so you could use bones and stuff to fertilize trees so they grow faster. But I'm going to skip it because it's not needed for this particular build. And you'll need a basic solar engine. Or no, just a regular solar engine. Sorry. Where's the regular one? There we go. Regular solar engine, regular coal engine, and then you'll need any number of chests that you want. The solar engine that I'm putting in here is going to be a top chest, or I'm sorry, a side chest, because the solar engine goes on top, and you can use up to 3 internal storage ones, so you might as well just grab those just for giggles. and other stuff, entertainment purposes. That's going to drive me nuts. I don't know why, just because I'm neurotic and crazy that way. So you drop these things in. This is really all you need. It's going to take you about a half an hour to get this guy assembled, but he's going to have his solar engine, his chests for storage, and his tool. Pretty much all you need. Let's throw some coal in this baby to get him going. Donk. Assemble. And then he'll assemble. And assembling time, there it goes. So many percent, so much time left. So the standard haul is what you start out with. I'll actually go to cart assembler first. I'll take a moment here while this is building to show recipes. So cart assembler. You need 4 stone. Obviously you cook cobblestone. Cook. There we go, smelting. 3 iron and 2 simple PCBs, which are made out of 4 iron, a gold, and 4 redstone around it. So that's pretty simple there. And we're going to grab our hull so I can show you that one. It's just 5 iron like a minecart would be, and 2 of these iron wheels, which just sticks around an iron. So that's not too hard either. Really the most expensive part of this is the wood cutting core. I know, I overtype things. You need an advanced PCB and 8 of any kind of sapling. Any kind of tree sapling will work. And so you just gotta do those in an advanced PCB. The advanced PCB is going to be made out of 3 iron, 2 simple PCBs, and 2 redstone. And the core itself, you need to put an iron ingot above it, and 5 of these diamond saw blades, or just saw blades rather, which has a diamond apiece and 2 iron. So really that's the most expensive piece. The side chests, if you type in chest, your side chest is 4 large chest panes, 4 huge chest panes, 2 large chest panes, 2 just regular chest panes, and a chest lock. Chest lock is just an iron over a stone, gets you 8 of them. And then the panes themselves are just made out of the panes. So one huge one is 9 of these, for example. The large one is just 4 of them. And then the pane itself is just a bunch of planks. Just 9 planks, gets you 32 of them. So you get a good amount of them for the planks. And really that's all there is to it. And then you throw them in there and you get the assembler going. And it takes some time. So while that's cooking up, you'd think I'd have prepared before the video. But nah, I'm going to just wing things. That's what this is all about, just winging things. We are going to grab some track. And we are going to grab an advance to track. There we go. And these you can make. It's just 6 of these standard rails and a wooden rail bed. Standard rails can be made out of any combination of like aluminum, titanium, tungsten, depending on what mods you have installed anyway. But I use just iron or bronze. Either one of those will work. And you put them in a rolling machine. You get 6 or 8 depending on if you use iron or bronze. Refined iron works, you get 10. Oh, hey, if you cook it first, you get 10. Interesting. Steel give you 16. Fantastic. And then the wooden tie itself is just going to be 4 wooden ties. Or the wooden rail bed is just going to be 4 wooden ties. And it's 4 wooden ties is around the slabs with a piece of creosote oil, which is creosote oil is gotten obviously out of a coke oven. You cook you cook coal or wood to get charcoal in a coke oven. That gives you what you're looking for. So, and then the advanced detector bed is just 6 iron, a redstone, and 2 pressure plates, which is just 2 stone. And you need 2 of those. And the reason why I use iron rail beds mostly, not because I have to, because actually you could easily go with wooden rail beds. If we get these pulled up here, we should be able to find some. Aha! Oh, that's a switch track. There we go. You can just use wooden tracks, which is just wooden rails, and the wooden rail bed, which the wooden rail bed's made the exact same way as I showed you a moment ago. But the wooden rail is just 3 wooden ties and 3 standard rails in a rolling machine, so it's less iron heavy basically. If you're low on iron or low on resources, you've just started out your world, you want to get something rolling quickly, You want to go with the wooden beds because they're easier to make. But I like to go with the regular tracks, not because I really want to use them specifically, but because a lot of the times when you first start out a new world and you start digging and exploring, a good portion of the time I come across abandoned mine shafts, and those have tracks for days inside them, and that's just where I get most of mine. To be completely honest with you, I don't actually build a lot of these tracks. Most often I just find them in the abandoned mine shafts, which is a really nice way to get those going. If you are exploring or digging for the first time in a world and you come across those, definitely snatch those up, because those can be used later on. So what we're going to do is we are going to make a tree farm out of this, and I have a very specific way I like to do this, but really you can do it any way you want to. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, that's good, whatever. I just go over a couple because the cart will be planting the trees. It's a tree farming cart is what we're making over here, in case you hadn't caught on to that fact. And as he drives down the rails, he puts one on either side. He'll put one here, he'll put one here, I'll just show you. There we go, let's grab a sapling. Bonk. He'll put one there, and he'll put one there. And then he'll go forward too, and he'll put one there, and he'll put one there. And then he just leaves gaps like that. And he does that all the way down the rail bed. And then he just maintains them and chops them down when the trees grow. Basically is all that happens. So because he has one on either side, I like to leave a gap in the middle, and then go over one that's going to be a tree, and then this is going to be the track. So basically it's 3 wide in the middle. The whole track is 5 wide, is how I do this. But really, like I said, that's just personal preference, because I'm crazy neurotic and I like to do things exactly a certain way. This game messes with people's OCD so bad. If you didn't have OCD before you started playing Minecraft, you will after you start. And if you had it before you started, like me, oh, you have no chance whatsoever. You will have OCD for days. So let's go ahead and make a couple of these, actually. Tree, gap, tree, track 2, 3, 4, 5, tree, gap, tree, track 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. Should probably actually keep this on my hotbar. Fantastic. So yeah, I like to do these a certain way. You could really make these into any sort of shape you wanted to. Make a nice phallic shaped track if you wanted to. Make a... I've never really understood that personally. I mean, I know I'm a guy and everything, but I've never been so much into the phallic objects. I don't know why. If I was going to make something into something, I would make a giant pair of knockers. Although I guess that'd be kind of hard in Minecraft block situation. But hey, that's me. Who doesn't like knockers? So, now that I've offended a few people, nice start to a new series. I'll take it. You have to have these advanced tracks at every point. Not every point specifically, but you need to have them on every track. I'm making 3 to start with, because we're going to make 3 of these tracks for a cart assembler. We're going to make 3 of these carts to run around these tracks, because you need generally at least 3 to keep up with the boiler, because it burns fuel really fast at first. Later on, not so much, but definitely in the beginning it burns it really quickly. If you wanted to be super safe, you could go with 5. Oh, that's too many. 1, 2, 3, 4. Was that too many? Yeah, no, that was right. Okay, so yeah, if you want to be super safe, you can make 5 of these tracks. But because I'm in creative mode, when I actually place that cart down, it won't actually consume it. I'll be able to place as many of those as I want to, which is good for demonstration purposes. But you will need to build as many carts as you decide that you want to have tracks running around. And the reason why I do these size is because the carts have a solar engine. When I showed you when I was building these things, oh, I didn't actually build the pieces, did I? Solar engine, obviously, is going to be solar powered. There we go. And it's going to be 2 of the advanced PCBs I showed you before, and 2 pistons, 2 iron, 1 redstone, and 2 advanced solars. Is that right? That's the compact one. Sorry, we want this one. There we go. Sorry. Oh my god, epic fail. Not going to edit it out. Don't even care. 2 pistons, 2 iron, 1 advanced PCB, and 4 solar panels. Solar panels, just a simple iron, 2 glowstone, and 2 redstone. That's all you need. And then the coal engine itself is even simpler. Coal engine. There we go. Just 2 pistons, 1 furnace, and 5 iron, really. So what happens is they've got the two engines, and I'll show you how those work once we actually get the cart done and you place them down. But it's going to be mostly solar power, but it can run off the wood it's chopping. Or you can just feed it straight coal or charcoal, it'll run off those as well. But the coal engine can consume wood, so I like the fact that you do that so that it can run around the track, and it will fuel itself up as it drives around the track. So you never actually have to touch it, which is, again, I like self-sustaining systems, so that's how we're going to roll with this. I don't really use long tracks because of the fact that wood burns pretty quick in those engines, and you will have to come and find your carts. Every now and again, the trees will grow high enough that the solar engines will get blocked out from the light, or nighttime will go on too long, or something to that effect. It will burn up all its fuel, and then it will get stuck, and then trees will grow around it, and you'll never find it. You have to go digging through trees. It's kind of a pain. That's why I use shorter tracks. That way it hits the refuel point more often. So, but you can always fix that by feeding it charcoal instead, which, since we're making a ton of charcoal anyway, is possible. And I'll show you that at some point. Actually, you know what? Let's do that. I might as well. This is Minecraft from the ground up. This is a build spotlight. We might as well hit everything, right? Let's do it. So, you get these, and you set them like so. This is the cargo distributor and the cargo manager. The distributor actually can sit anywhere. The manager itself has to be right next to this advanced rail that we put right here in this. Each circle of track, each port. If this was one track, you would only need one of these. You'd only need one distributor, or one manager, or one advanced rail. But if it was a giant huge track, again, that's why I use three, because of the whole getting stuck and running out of fuel thing that I was just talking about. So I like to double up on them because these aren't very expensive anyway. But if you wanted one giant track, you'd only need one rail and one of each of these. But I like to do it this way. And this can sit anywhere. You can put it behind it, you can put it to the side, you can put it bleeding on top of it if you wanted to. It doesn't matter. You only need one of each per advanced rail. But I like to put them underneath because I'm all about hiding stuff and making things look nice, in addition to making things self-sustaining and functional. I am all about aesthetics, so let's do this. So the cargo distributor and the cargo manager are what actually keeps the cart going on its tracks. The manager itself is going to be made out of these iron panes. These are just like the wooden chest panes that I showed you for the wooden chest pieces for the cart, except for they're made out of iron. Well, one iron anyway, surrounded by these chest panes, and you get tons of those, so no big deal. And then the distributor, oh sorry, you know what, I should show you the middle piece, which is the large dynamic pane, which is made redstone surrounded by dynamic panes, which is a redstone and a regular pane. So, however you make this, you're going to get a ton of these, and you just put them together. It's not that hard. The cargo distributor is going to be 4 stone, 1 redstone, and 4 simple PCBs that we've already covered. Not hard to make. This stuff is just pretty much a bunch of iron and wood and redstone, really. These tracks, these Steve Cart carts are just amazing. I love them to death. So, we get the carts going. And then what you need to do is for each one of these, you got to check which side it's blue already. I saw it a second ago, but just to show you, this is a blue side facing the track. So you come in here and you tell this thing, hey, we are going to take this and you want to turn all these blue, which you click these buttons for. There's blue, there's blue, there's blue. And then we're going to make this so to make sure that he pulls out. He wants to refuel his engine, so from the manager to the engine, so he'll pull out wood for his engine. This is going to be his chest drop-off, so he drops off chests. This is going to be saplings, so he grabs saplings, and then he moves on. This part doesn't really matter. If you had fertilizer set up with the fertilizer piece that I showed you before, you'd want to do that, but you don't necessarily need to. This is just the simplest way to do it, and then you come down here, and I'm going to set this so that all sides can interact with this thing. If you get down here underneath of this thing, you can see that the bottom is purple. And this is the piece that lets this, the cargo manager has its inventory. The cargo distributor is what manages that inventory. So you have to connect this piece so it can connect to piping and stuff like that. And this piece can be connected with any kind of piping. You can put Buildcraft piping, you can put red power piping, whatever kind of piping it will connect to. But you got to tell it what side can connect to what slot. So if you had this split up, if you click the middle button, it'll split this up into center pieces. So like this side is this icon, this side is this icon, this side is this icon. And you can tell it, hey, only interact with the top left, top right, etc., and so forth. But the simplest way to do it is just leave it all as one giant unit like this, and then tell it that the purple side can communicate with all the inventory. So that's what we're doing there. And then I'm going to do the same thing over here for these ones. We'll just set this up the exact same way. And we'll grab this. Engine, blue, blue, blue. What did I do over here, guys? Oh, is that saplings? Yeah, okay. There we go. Yeah. I think I clicked these wrong, didn't I? Yeah, I did. Ha ha, fail again. Whatever, not editing. Alright. All set. Basically, everything going to the cart has to point away from the little middle manager icon in the center there. There we go. Blue. Blue chests. Yep. And again, these, for the purposes of this setup, we're not worrying about the fertilizer, but it's just something to do. Alright, so this is how our tracks are going to look. This is how the cart farm itself is going to happen. Let's go over here, I think, and start setting up. How's our cart doing here? That's about half done. Let's throw some more coal in there because it might run out of fuel, and I don't like that. You can sit around sometimes for an hour wondering why your cart's not done, then you check finally and realize, oh, I didn't put enough coal in there. Ha ha ha. Okay, so we got the tracks laid, and now we are going to start getting set up so that the wood that it mines out can be put into a storage system of some kind, because you don't want just it's going to be bringing in wood and saplings and apples and all kinds of crazy things, so you don't want to have all that feeding into one furnace. So let's just grab some barrels for the sake of display purposes here. There we go. Get under these things. Now, there's a couple of different ways to set up how you're going to be having your loot come in. And by loot, of course, I mean the wood and the saplings and the apples. And you could have... I'm using barrels just because they're the most visually striking and purposes for a tutorial video. I actually probably shouldn't have those there, come to think of that's a little bit close to the tree tracks. You could have a... If you're a fan of Applied Energistics, I have that mod installed as well. I may show at some point how to get this set up with Applied Energistics instead. If you're a fan of just regular piping, you can do regular piping too. You can do logistics piping. I've got all these available to us. I'm probably just going to do logistics piping because it's the simplest and easiest way to do this. So for that purposes, we'll go with that route first. If I get enough comments, if enough people decide they want to see this video revised to do this with Applied Energistics or regular piping, we can do that too. Or even red power. We'll see how this goes, depending on how people like to do things. So we're just going to start out this video this time with logistics piping. So we need to access the undersides of these barrels. And then what I like to do is you get down here and you go with your basic. You go with your provider. You go with your supplier. There we go. So you provide logistics pipes underneath of the barrels. Get basic ones on top. And these are logistics pipes, as mentioned a moment ago. Let's just get a gold pipe here. There we go. Yeah. We'll just stick the pipes underneath because I like to do it that way. There we go. Provider. Provider. And I'm actually doing this horribly wrong again, So now I need to go and redo some of this. Ah, gosh. Okay. So, what we're going to do is we need wooden pipes first. Pipe. Wooden pipes will go on the bottom part to pull out, obviously. Man, so many epic fails. That's Minecraft for you, though. Fail all the days, all the time. And then what you do here is you grab a... You can use a redstone engine. You can use a... to pull it out. Everybody knows how the redstone engines work on the pipe to pull things out of inventories. I like to do autarchic gates, though, because they don't take up a lot of room. So you do autarchic gate, and you just say items in inventory, pulsar. Gate, items in inventory, pulsar. Items in inventory, pulsar. Fantastic. Now it'll be spitting those things out, and what I'm going to do, actually, I think, is get down here, and we're going to do this way. I like it. And then you just put a basic pipe on here, actually. I'll show you how to make these in a minute here. And then what happens is whenever there's items inside the manager, it will automatically detect that. The autarchic gate will spit them out into the pipes, and because we're doing a logistics pipe network, they will know what to do with it. There we go. Beautiful. Then you just cover this back up. And the idea is if this was inside your base, you wouldn't be putting dirt blocks. You'd probably just be putting, you know, whatever building material you've made in a base. And I like to make bases too. Bases are a little boring to make, though, so I didn't actually decide to do that in the video. If everybody wants to see me make a base at some point, I can do that. I'll be taking requests for build ideas eventually at some point. I got a few that I want to do, you know, at first before the series gets kicked off. But once I'm actually rolling with this series and I will start taking requests for builds to do, people want to see things made a certain way, I will definitely be willing to check things out and see how I can make them built. It's all going to be subjective, obviously, because I'm not the, you know, I'm not the end-all be-all authority on Minecraft building, but hey, I do what I can when I do what I can, you know? Okay, so let's see, wrench. Just grab the Omni wrench because why not? So, any kind of wrench will work, though. You can just use a basic iron wrench or however you want to do it. Logistics pipes are pretty awesome. So the basic pipe itself is going to be made out of either 2 chipsets or 2 gears, diamond pipe, 2 redstone, and 4 glass. It's really not that hard to make. It's a little expensive because of the diamond pipe, but it's not that bad. And then you get 8 of them, obviously, out of 1 diamond pipe. So 1 diamond pipe recipe gives you 8, right? So then you get 8 diamond pipes, and then you could do each one of those will give you 8. So you get a stack of these out of 1 diamond pipe recipe. So it's pretty nice. The provider pipe we're using is going to be 1 glowstone over a basic pipe. The supplier pipe that we're going to be using is going to be 2 lapis lazuli over on either side of 1 basic pipe. See lapis there. Those are various alternate recipes, but basically you're probably going to use lapis. So they're really not that expensive. Then gold pipe, obviously, is just 2 gold around a glass. So that's how we are going to be getting the stuff out of the system here. Let's check on our cart again. It was about halfway done before, wasn't it? Yeah, it's almost done. There, look at that. Beautiful. This video is running really long. I like it. I might chop this up. I might not. We'll see what happens. So all the wood and all the saplings and apples are going to come in here. So what we do is we get a sapling, we get an oak wood, and we get an apple. And this is just because that's what's going to come out of the tree farm. If you use different trees, then you get different stuff, obviously, and then you have to put different things in these pipes. But basically you're telling these pipes right here, hey, keep these items. So every time an item enters the system, if it matches one of these, it's going to come out here. And then just for completion's sake, let's do this. And we'll get a chest. And you can just set the chest down here. And you can tell this default route, so anything that doesn't know what to do with it will put in that chest. Although you don't really need that because this is all just going to be coming from the tree farm. So, I mean, unless this is part of your actual sorting system in your base. Let's grab a sandstone pipe really quick. Sandstone pipes because it doesn't connect to inventory, so you can just run it up the back like that. I know it won't insert anyway, but hey, I'm an efficient builder, so there you go. That just connects the top part of this to the bottom part. So yeah, we're looking good so far. And that's where all the loot's going to come in, all the items and everything. Now we're going to get some furnaces. Depending on how you want to do this, you can have any type of furnace cooking charcoal, obviously, because charcoal is made purely by smelting wood, so you can do it any which way. I'm going to do it the simplest possible way. We're just going to grab an iron furnace. This is just your basic iron furnace, and it is made by surrounding a furnace. There we go. Iron furnace, bam. 8 iron or 5 around a furnace. So silly simple. So what we're going to do is we're going to get a supplier pipe. Let's move this over here a little bit. Yeah, you know what? Just so we can see this. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Furnace. Alright, so 8. I'm going to do 2 lines of 8. Because in my test world, when I first did this, and every time I've actually built this before, that's what it ended up being, was 2 lines of 8. So that's what we're going to go with. Or it's actually 15, I think, was the minimum furnace count for iron furnaces. Again, you can use any sort of furnace you want to. You can use electric furnace if you have some power going on. But this is for power generation. The reason why I'm doing regular furnaces is because this is for power generation. We're setting this up to make steam boilers. So you want to use something that's not going to actually involve power use at this point. If you wanted to use power to make power, that would be something you could do. At some point, maybe I'll even show that. But we're just going to do it this way for now. So you got 2 lines of furnaces. Oh, you know what? That's not going to work. So you're going to put supplier pipes on top and underneath. And just for demonstration's sake, I'll just stack them. There we go. Supplier. Fantastic. And then we'll get a regular pipe, wooden pipe. There we go. There we go. Let's grab our autarchic gates again. Again, you could use redstone engines here if you'd rather, because all we're doing is pulling items out of inventory. Jeez, cannot click to save my life. And then again, it's going to be items in inventory. Pulsar. Pulsar. Right click once, 3 times. There we go. Pulsar. Pulsar. Items inventory. Pulsar. Items inventory. Pulsar. Most boring part of this video, I guarantee it. Items inventory. Pulsar. 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 Whoop. There we go. Pulsar. And pulsar. And that way what this will do is this will work the pipe and pull charcoal out when it cooks it. So it'll only detect the front slot, which is where things come out, right here, which is fantastic. It won't detect these slots, so it's just going to pull out the front. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to put more basic pipes, like so. And like so. And then we are going to just come down here. Let's grab one more barrel, I think. Basic barrel. Whoop. There we go. Wow. Complete fails. And then we'll grab a piece of charcoal and tell this barrel that you are wanting charcoal. Now, every time these spit out charcoal, these pipes will just funnel it down there. No need for crazy systems or setups. We are, however, going to need to connect all of this. So, let's get these down here. Let's see, I need my sandstone pipe again. Because why not? I don't know. Anytime you have an intersection, by the way, you want to use a basic pipe. If more than two pipes connect, you use a basic one for the intersection. That way they know where to put things. So like right here, where these two pipes goes up and sideways, you want to put a basic right here. That way it knows which way to route things. Like that. And then we'll get one up like this. Actually, that's going to need to be a basic too. There we go. Fantastic. Nice and complicated yet? Following along? Okay, let's do it. So, now, how we do it? Oh, cart! Ha! So to get the carts going, what you do is you're going to grab... You're going to need a good couple of saplings to get these going. So each cart is going to need several saplings, and I like to throw in some wood just to get it started for its fuel. And the way that this cart works out is you drop it right on the advanced track first, and then you can put in the wood and then the saplings. And it's going to fuel it up. This is the solar engine. It's going to run off solar power first. This is the wood engine. It can burn wood or charcoal or coal. You want to click this until it says L, so low priority, meaning it will use solar power first if possible, and then use the wood. And then it's got its internal chests, and what it's going to do, look, it's already planting trees. It's got two right there. In a few minutes, he's going to start driving down that track and do the same thing. So let's get some more saplings out here, and some more oak wood. And we'll drop him down and do the exact same thing. Wood, saplings, low priority. Bam. Whoop. Okay. And again, just to mention that I'm in creative mode, so it doesn't use the cart when I place it. But you don't get an infinite cart for building one. You will have to make multiple carts for multiple tracks, or just have one giant track with one car driving around. There we go. Why'd this guy go and this guy didn't? What are you doing, buddy? Go! Give him a little push. There he goes. I don't know why. Sometimes I get a little stuck. And sit. Foot. Height. Sit. Height. Sit. There you go. Now he's going. Fantastic. We had to throw a few link noises in there, but hey, he's working. Oh, look, a tree's already grown. Look at that. Bam. Then he'll come along and place that, and that's a little saw blade on the front, so once he gets there, he will chop that down. Fantastic. What are you doing, buddy? Oh, he's going. Okay. Oh, that tree grew too. Wow. Let's just watch this happen, just for the sake of demonstration. There we go. And then his little saw blades start going chicka 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 chick, and the tree just kind of chops down. And his solar panel folds up when he can't see because the trees will block the light, and then it comes back out. And now he's got some wood in his inventory. Look at that. The saplings went right into right here for now because, you know, he had planted all these saplings, so he's low on them. So they're gonna, all the saplings he chops down is going to come right here, but, you know, wood's going to come in the chest for now. When he's full on saplings, he'll drop them off over here. And eventually he'll pick up apples and such too. So, that's going. Tree farm's looking good. Got our trees working. Charcoal will be coming in here once these start burning. Let's build our boiler. Finally, the power part of this, right? So, I like to do high pressure boilers, but you can do low pressure boilers just as easy. Firebox. We want the solid fuel one. Boiler. I do all the high end stuff because for me it's all or nothing, baby. That's how I roll. Each boiler is 2 steel pressure plates, or 2 iron if you're using low pressure, which is 4 steel or 4 iron again if you're using low pressure, which 4 of those will get you 3 of the plates in a rolling machine. So, and then the firebox is going to be down here somewhere. Hello? Am I blind? I'm being blind, aren't I? Oh, there we go. So you get a regular furnace and 7 clay around a fire charge, which is a coal or charcoal, a blaze powder, and a gunpowder. It gives you 3 of them. And so what you're going to need to do is you're going to need 9 of these things. And you're going to place them like so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Zabow. And the biggest you can get is going to be 4 high. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. I guess I could clip properly and actually maybe make this look nice. Nah. Bam, boiler. Fantastic. And you'll need a source of water. My source of water, I like to dig down underneath of the thing. Like so. And I will typically put down an aqueous accumulator. Whoop. Water. Bam, 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 bam. You don't need that many buckets, but hey, whatever. And then you can just get a, you can use a liquid duct, you can use waterproof piping, it doesn't matter. The thing doesn't care. Bam, water. Like so. Whoop. See, look, we got water coming in now. The aqueous accumulator is a thermal expansion machine that makes water. You just put the water buckets around the sides of it like you saw me do, and it will just make water for you and keep the thing fueled with water. So you need a bucket, you need a machine frame, and a pneumatic servo, 2 tin and 2 glass. The machine frame is just 4 iron and a gold and 4 glass, like so. And the pneumatic servo is just 2 iron, 1 redstone, and 2 glass. So it's not that expensive. Still, we're working on not very expensive things. I like to keep things that way. Makes things all delicious and fantastic. You could even probably put the aqueous accumulator directly against the bottom of this thing without the pipe. I just like to use pipes. I don't know why. Whatever. And it'll keep it fueled with water. And then what we'll do is we'll come over here like this. And just because I like to hide things, we'll do this way. Oh, hey, look, the water's flowing out. So we'll put a gold pipe right there. That will not interfere with the aqueous. You can still see it's got its water around it there. And it's just making water dumping into the top up there. So it'll just do its thing. And then we'll get our supplier pipe, like so. And what we do is we grab a stack of charcoal. You'll have to cook a stack of charcoal in advance just to tell it this. But items to keep stocked, 1 stack of charcoal. So this pipe basically is going to be looking at the system over here, and it's going to say, hey, I need charcoal. And it will keep at least 1 stack of charcoal in this at all times once it starts getting going here. So we put some pipes over here. And let's get the provider pipe. There we go. Boom. So now, underneath this barrel is a provider pipe saying, hey, I've got charcoal. Or I've got whatever's in this barrel, rather, is what it's going to say, but we're only feeding it charcoal. And it will know to keep charcoal in it from here. And a provider pipe network, logistics pipe network, usually needs a source of power. I have that disabled just for the purposes of demonstration. If you use a regular logistics pipe setup, you will probably need a source of power for it. It's a configurable option. So yes, again, cheating, but again, not a real world, just demonstrating. So, that's how the setup goes. That's from start to finish. There's your tree farm. There's your furnaces. There's your boiler. Let's get some engines going on here. Steam. I like to use the industrial ones. We will use a set of power pipes, because why not? Actually, you know what? Yeah, let's just do that. You could use redstone conduits instead, which again is from the same mod as the Aqueous came from, and then they can connect to either just as fine. So what you do is you can put your power pipe down, and you can do conductive piping like so, or you can just do the redstone conduit. I like the redstone conduit personally. And one of these boilers can support 18 of these things. So we're going to go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There we go. And then 9 over here. Fantastic. And then you switch these so that they're pointing out, so the power comes out of them. And then you switch the engines around. What up, pig? Whoop. There we go. And now we can get a redstone energy cell. And I'm going to put an empty one down just for the good demonstration here. And then what I like to do, since this is all about how I like to do things, right? That's the whole point of this video. You guys are a captive audience for my amazingness. No, seriously though. You get a structure pipe, and you stick it on top. And then let's take a moment really quick to go over some of these patterns that I haven't covered. You got your steam engine that we just used, 18 of those industrial guys, which is going to be 2 steel gears and 3 of those steel plates we showed you before. And then the steel gears are just going to be 4 steel around a stone gear. So it's just like any engine, really. And then the conduit. It's going to be redstone energy cell in a liquid transposer. That's another thermal expansion machine. You put molten redstone into an empty conduit to get the conduit. Empty conduit is made out of 2 electrum around a hardened glass. Electrum is just a blend of silver and gold. There you go. You can also blend silver and gold dust. You don't have to use this induction smelter. So let's see if we can demonstrate that. There we go. Smelt dust. Electrum dust. Electrum dust. Hello. There we go. That's what I wanted. There's like 900,000 versions of Electrum. There you go. Oh, come on, really? There we go. Gold dust and silver dust. Gives you 2 dust. Gives you 2 Electrum dust. And then the hardened glass is a lead ingot and 2 pulverized obsidian, which is just 2 macerated obsidian dust in an induction smelter. And those are thermal expansion machines. And again, if you don't have thermal expansion, you just want to use regular stuff, don't use the conduits, just use the conductive piping I showed you before. It's basic buildcraft stuff. The structure pipe is going to be just a cobblestone pipe and a gravel. Fantastic. So we will get another autarchic gate here. Whoops. Zabow. And we will get some jacketed cabling because it's freestanding, and I love that. Love the jacketed cabling. There we go. Apparently we have neither brick jacketed cabling. Oh, that's the wrong one. Apparently we have wood plank jacketed cabling, but hey, it's all good. Yay for shift clicking. And then you just put them along the top of the engines. And if you don't want to go to all this mess I'm doing right here, let's say you don't have thermal expansion, you don't have access to that redstone energy cell over there, which I haven't shown you how to make yet for some reason, and you're just wanting to power stuff, you can just put these on a lever. You can just put redstone down, just like any other engine. Just flip a lever to turn them on and off as you will, but I like automation. So what we do is we tell this thing, can store energy, put out a signal. So now that's on, and we can see that that's on, and this is our ultimate energy goal. Set this to whatever you want to set it to, because this is going to be where your power comes from that we're making. Tell it to ignore the redstone signal, that way when this is on, you can still get power out of it. And everything will be hunky-dory. Now we get some liquiducts. Redstone energy cell is made out of a cell frame, 3 of those electrum ingots, 2 lead, and a redstone conductance coil, which is another electrum with 2 redstone on it. The frame itself is going to be made out of a liquid transposer, more than molten redstone in this frame. An empty frame is made out of 4 more electrum and 4 hardened glass and a diamond. So you need a lot of electrum for this build. That's going to be your super expensive part. Early setup, not so bad. Later setup, kind of bad. Again, unless you aren't using this, in which case, ignore that part. And then what we're going to do is we are going to set this up in such a way the way these liquiducts work. Liquiduct. 2 copper, or hardened gas, get you 4 of them. And they conduct only liquid. The more connections you have, the more it can bring out at a time, but hold more than it can bring out at a time. That's why you do it this way. So you bring out, just right click these with the wrench, you see the little arrow comes out so you can see which way they're facing. And then you get some more of this, because they need a redstone signal to operate. Whoop. Aw, fail. So much fail. Okay. I should rename this series to Fail Spotlight, shouldn't I? There we go. When Shun fails. That's what we'll call this. There we go. Pow. And that's just to give these signals so they can bring steam out of the boiler once the boiler gets going. Boiler's not going yet because we're still waiting on this to bring some wood in, but look, we got a good stack of wood already. Just in the time it took me to set that boiler and those engines up, we already have 6 stacks of wood. And it's not going to be enough by any stretch of the imagination. So we're going to keep letting those run while I finish this up over here. And then we are going to... Did I flip that lever on? No. Ponk. There we go. So we got to get the the liquid duct here. And we're going to run these underground underneath of these engines here. That way they can get the steam to them that they need to run. Because when you got onto YouTube today, you said, I need to look up how to make a boiler. Not, I need to look up something that doesn't involve me doing this. And by me, of course, I mean me, not you. And by not you, I mean, of course, the viewer. And by that, of course, I mean... my head hurts. Never mind. So what I'm doing here is I'm just running these liquid ducts underneath so they can bring steam from the other side over there. And I like to do every other one or so. Really, that's not needed. You could just put one connection. You could even put probably every third or fourth steam engine if you wanted to, but I'm a little over thorough. You'll probably notice that. If this series becomes super popular and I make a lot of these build spotlights that I'm liking the idea of doing, and this becomes a giant thing, then you'll probably see this, but I like to do crazy amounts of things. There we go. Now they've got all the steam. Steam will be coming in shortly. They'll be activated. Now all we need to do is to get this set up to feed that charcoal, and that's going to be with these supplier pipes up here that we connected earlier. So what we're going to do is we're going to say charcoal. Whoops. There we go. Charcoal. Oak. Let's grab 8. Well, we'll grab 10, because in an iron furnace, one charcoal or coal can cook 10 items. So what we're going to do here is we're going to say keep wood, and watch. 10 wood is going to come out of those barrels and come up here. Bam! Right in there. Whoops. Probably should not be clicking with the wrench. Now it's got 10 wood. Came right out of that barrel that we had the pipe underneath of. That's how logistics pipes work. It's a beautiful thing. Keep stock 10 wood. Keep stock 10 wood. Keep stock 10 wood. Keep stock 10 wood. And you want to do this for all the tops supplier pipes on top of each of the furnaces, because wood goes in the top. So down here, you do the top one again. Top of the furnace, that is. Keep stock 10 wood. 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 10 wood. And 10 wood. Bam. Now we're going to come down here and we're going to say keep stocked 1 charcoal. 1 charcoal. 1 charcoal. 1 charcoal. 1 charcoal. And then if you ever want to turn the system off, all you got to do is come over here and remove the charcoal out of these. And then it won't be cooking up any more charcoal. There we go. Charcoal. You notice it's not pulling any charcoal at the moment because, well, we haven't put any charcoal in the system. So you're going to have to cook up a good piece of charcoal, like I mentioned, to start the boiler list over there and to start these going. And if you put just charcoal straight in the barrel over there, it will get sent to the boiler instead of over here. So what we're going to do is I'm going to grab this. And underneath of our default route chest, I'm actually going to change this to a provider pipe. That way we can provide what's inside that chest. And then I'm going to grab a stack of charcoal. And we're going to start that in there. Bam. Now look at all the charcoal going up to all the furnaces, and they're going to light up as they start cooking charcoal. And actually, we are going to have to connect this as well. Yeah, we're going to have to put a basic one down there. Oh, I already connected that side at least. This is a little redundant over here at this point, but hey. That way, the charcoal that comes into this barrel can not only get fed into the boiler, but will also get fed into the furnaces, so it will self-manage itself. It'll bring charcoal into the furnace, it'll bring charcoal into there. All the charcoal will just get cooked. And because these furnaces actually cook pretty quick, you can see the wood's coming in and the charcoal's coming out. It only takes a few seconds. That's why we're getting 16 of these iron furnaces all at once. Again, if you had a better furnace set up with power, you could actually cook these quicker. But hey, this doesn't require power. And look, the boiler is already getting filled with charcoal from that pipe underneath. These are getting filled with charcoal just from the barrel, and we see this already heating up. We are at 26C, 27C. Now you see the build coming to a full culmination. Look at that. It's all actually running the way it should be running. It only took the video an hour of running, but hey, that's what a Buildcraft Spotlight's about. I don't think I'm even going to chop this up. I think I'm just going to upload it straight as it is, unless YouTube has a problem with it. Then you might see a two-parter, but hey, we're getting wood from the carts, it's getting cooked into charcoal, and it's getting put there. And this I just built in an open situation just so you can see all of the culmination of everything put together, because otherwise, you know, if it was in a base, you wouldn't be able to see it. But this could be easily hidden in the bottom of your base. If you have like a giant base and you got a basement, obviously the tree farm would have to be outside, but those pipes underneath those managers could just go straight underground to your basement. This could all be part of your sorting system. So you got the sorting system going, you got the boiler, which could be in your basement, and as soon as this thing reaches 100 degrees, I'll sit here and wait for that, make sure that happens, but as soon as this hits 100 degrees, you will see the steam come out, the engines turn on, and it'll start filling up our empty cell. It will be a beautiful thing. And while we're waiting for that, I will wrap up the explanation of this whole thing by saying that you could easily do this with a different piping setup. You could use just straight Buildcraft pipes. Instead of the logistics system, you could do this all with insertion pipes, just regular Buildcraft setup. You could do this with, it would actually even be easier and more efficient to do it with Applied Energistics, which is a sorting mod, which I love to death. It's one of my favorites. If I get enough requests, I might reload this same setup, the same world, and do another video on how to do it with Applied Energistics instead, if enough people are interested, or with the Buildcraft pipes, either way. I will also do a liquid boiler, probably right next to this, probably over there, right next to those trees. See if we can get that set up, and then we can get a liquid boiler so we can see a difference in it. There's a couple sustainable ways to do a liquid boiler, so you don't have to mess with things. You can do there's a way to do fuel and a way to do biofuel, and you don't ever have to touch it. And it's self-renewing, so we can do it both ways. And you can do a liquid setup boiler. There's also other power sources we can do. Biogas engines, there's a really nice sustainable way to do those as well. And that kind of stuff as well. So we'll do power systems for a while. If enough people request it as well, I might do a base setup just so you can see how to hide this in the base. You can put all these pipes in walls so you can't see any of them. There's tons of ways to do that, and I love to do this, so if enough people want to see me build a base, I can do that. Eventually I want to do a sorting system, probably an Applied Energistics one, or a Logistics Pipes one, either way, or both, just to see it. Also want to do a frame quarry. I've actually built one of my own. I've seen hundreds of videos out there, but none of them are as crazy as the one that I think that I build. But everybody thinks that, so hey, I could be completely dead wrong. Maybe mine sucks. Don't tell me. My fragile little heart can't take it. But hey, I do a pretty mean frame quarry, so we'll do that as well at some point. And I've got a couple of other ideas for things coming up down the road for some really neat build spotlight ideas, and that will allow us to get everything going. And then, as I said, anybody that has requests, I'll take requests for the build spotlights. If you say that, hey, I want to see this built, how would you do this? I will certainly probably make videos. And by certainly probably, of course, I mean definitely in the beginning. If I become giant popular, maybe not so much later on, but I will always take requests and get to them. Maybe I even might respond back to you if you have a really interesting idea. I want to clarify how you're thinking about stuff. But yeah, this is totally the way this works. It's an amazing thing. You can see we're already running low on wood. Look at that. We had, 10 stacks in there a minute ago? 6 to 10 stacks. Now we're down to 2. Wood's coming in as fast as those are going around the tracks. So to be completely safe, as I mentioned before, you want to make probably 4 or 5 of those tracks. Or make longer ones. You can do that too. And how are we doing for the steam over here? 54. About halfway there. Looking good. So let's see, some other ideas that I'm having for build spotlight ideas. We can do automated farming. There's a lot of automated wheat farms out there, for example, that are just water mowing the wheat down, but then you have to go manually replant. I came up with an automated wheat farm a while ago using a lot of red power setups. They have there's a mod called Thaumcraft, which everybody and their mother is now aware of because it's one of the best mods out there. I won't lie, just say that straight out. That has golems that can automatically farm for you, but if you don't really want to do the magic thing so much, I do have a mechanical way to do an automated wheat farm that instantly grows things, but you need a steady source of bones. But hey, I can do that too. So, you know, fertilizer and all that kind of stuff, instant growing, deployers making things. It's a beautiful thing. You can even put all the steam in a tank if you wanted to for this build. 61. The other thing I will always do is I stop and go over everything. I won't edit. A lot of people like to cut their videos and say, hey, I'll be right back while I finish this or that. I won't do that. I want everything to be seen because this is a build spotlight setup. We want everything to be seen. This is Minecraft from the ground. Oh, look at those guys go. Jeez. All those leaves. Wow. I guess that's what happens when you attach a chainsaw to the front of a minecart, huh? Well, actually, he doesn't ever move upwards, so how does that happen? How does he get to the top of the trees? How do you do it? Are you magic, Mr. Minecart? Probably. He doesn't want us to know, even though we built him. He's got secrets. Look at him just going along his minecart business. Fantastic. Oh, hey, look at that. We got a stack of charcoal sitting in here. Just sitting. So you will have an excess of charcoal as well. Eventually you'll have to find some way of dealing with that. But that's what sorting systems are for, overflow and whatnot else. Right now, if that barrel overflows, it's going to just start filling up this chest. Because this is the default route. We're hovering around about 2 stacks. I'm liking this. Look at that, you've even got some saplings and some apples if you're running low on food for some reason. What's up, Pigman? Hey, Pigman. Hey. You want to hang out on top of the boiler? I think you should hang out on top of the boiler. It's a good place to be. There, we got a boiler pig, guys. What do you think of that? Let's even, I can even turn him into our mascot. Hey! I didn't say you could leave. Glass viewers, one of my favorite things from Zycraft. Another amazing mod. There you go, pig. You just became the boiler mascot. What do you think? Pretty sure mostly he thinks oink. But hey, good for you. How are we doing? 76. Keep it daytime. Obviously, you wouldn't be clicking daytime in a real world setup. You would be sleeping. But hey, whatever. Boiler mascot, pig, what is up? I like it. Totally, completely, 100% unrelated to the build. Obviously. But, on that same token, I would argue, completely necessary. In fact, anybody watching this Buildcraft Spotlight, I will highly suggest to you, you should always have a boiler mascot. We're going with a pig this time. How about that? Delicious bacon later if we decide. You can be our emergency bacon source. I totally just coined that and stole that whole thing from somewhere. But hey, if you know where, good for you. If you don't know where, it's not important. Man, these trees just chop so fast. I love watching these things work. Amazing stuff. And yes, I'm flying around with my crazy OCD. I just have to check out everything. 84. Need to get 100. We're almost there. Still got a stack sitting here. Uh-oh, we're out of wood. Uh-oh. See you guys? That's why I said should do 5 of these tracks to be safe. When later on down the road, once the boiler gets to full steam setup and it's going full bore, once it's up to 900 plus degrees, it'll start consuming fuel less often, so it won't be using charcoal as fast. But you'll only need the 3. So really, it's not a big deal. I'm just going to throw some more wood in there for the sake of the demonstration. Yes, I'm cheating a little bit, but hey, this is just for the sake of the demonstration purposes. 3 tree tracks is plenty for a high boiler at high fuel. But until it hits that high fuel, you'll need probably 4 or 5 tracks. Or, again, just one giant long track. I don't tend to recommend giant long tracks, though, because the carts have their internal storages, right? And they hold all the wood that they can, and they'll go out and they collect it and they drop it off in those managers the way that it's set up. But if you have a giant long cart, then they could end up having to travel the entire distance before coming back to drop off wood. So you'll have times and gaps in which the wood will be coming in, and if the boiler runs out of wood while the cart is out chopping down extra trees, then you could see heat loss. The boiler will start going cold if it loses enough wood between such times. So you keep shorter tracks so the wood kind of comes in at more of a constant pace, is the reason why that you do that. Or you could have one giant track with multiple drop-off points. You could do that too. You could have multiple of those advanced track rails and multiple of those cargo managers and cargo distributor setups with the pipes under all of them. That way it brings it in at multiple points. So really it's just how you want to do it. Or again, giant phallic or boob-shaped tracks could be recommended as well. But here we go, 98C. Just about to get some steam. It's going to get steamy up in here. Like the showers in high school gym class that you were afraid to go into because it was steamy and you didn't know if you were walking around whose unmentionables might suddenly brush against your rear in the steamy shower that you can't see and because it's too steamy for seeing. Hey, we have steam. Look at that, bam, and it's coming out as quick as it's coming in because we got all these liquid ducts. Pulls the steam right out, puts them right in the engines. We got almost all the engines running. Why are some of them not running? Oh, because I'm a complete nincompoop, that's why. Guys, this is going to be by no means a perfect series, but hey, part of being a good builder is noticing stuff as you go. So we're going to connect you right here. Wrench that in the middle to connect. Wrench that in the middle to connect. Wrench that in the middle to connect. Wrench in the middle to connect. There we go. Pretend that never happened. I was not that stupid. It never happened. This is not the retard you're looking for. Okay. Anyway, so we got all the engines running. They're all running. They run out at 8 millijoules apiece. They're all full of steam. It's a beautiful thing. And the power conduit's coming out here, and look at that. Look at how fast we're crapping out millijoules. We've already got almost 100K, just like that, just from those couple of steam boilers. We have 18 steam boilers. They're running at 8 millijoules a tick. So 18 times 9 is 90 something. Right? Something? Math failed. Okay, real math. Here we go. Half of them is 9. 9 times 8 is 72 times 2. 144 millijoules a tick. Fantastic. I love it. That's what you're getting. That's the kind of power generation you can do with this. So, all you people who want to make a giant steam boiler setup, here's how you do it. Here's solid fuel. Fantastic. And with that, we're going to call this video done. I like it. We'll wrap this bad boy up. And yeah, so this has been the first video in a new series of build spotlights. I'm liking how this went. If you liked it, fantastic for you. I'm hoping that you did. And if you want to see more, leave a comment below. Tell me what kind of builds you might want to see in the future. Next episode, we'll do a liquid one to go along with this. That way we can do each part together. And yeah, we'll call that good. And I think all the famous YouTubers have a really awesome catch line that ends videos. So obviously I should probably have one. And on that note, maybe I'll think of one later. Bah ha 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 ha. Awesome. Thanks for watching.